really, really exciting for all of us, not just for me, for all of us, because we are combining one of my favorite hobbies with another one of my favorite hobbies, and today we're doing F1 and reading. I love combining hobbies. I think it's such a fun way to explore how things can merge, and I did it last video with March Madness and reading, so now we're doing reading in F1, which is just so much fun for me. This weekend there is the Japanese Grand Prix, or Suzuka, and we are going to let the sessions of this F1 weekend determine how much we read. If you don't quite watch F1, that's totally okay. I'll explain along the way, but we are going to use each session, so all of the free practices, all the qualifying, and then the actual race, and different things from the race are going to determine how much we read. So let's break it down. I have the rules written down in my notes and I kind of have to peek at them. Typically for a F1 weekend there are 3 practice sessions. They're called free practice 1, free practice 2, and free practice 3, or FP1, FP2, and FP3. So during these free practices they're really just getting a feel for the track, for the race, for the weather. They're just collecting a lot of data. They're not actually racing. For this, we're just going to take the 2 fastest drivers from each session. We're going to take their car number. The sum of the 2 fastest drivers' car numbers, like their racing numbers, we're going to read that amount of pages. Now, I didn't want it to be too easy, and there are some pretty low racing numbers, so if their racing number is 1 through 6, we're going to multiply it by 15, because 15 is my favorite number and would be my racing number. So let's say that Lando is the fastest in a practice session. His number is 1 right now. 1 page means nothing, so I would multiply 1 by 15, and it would be 15 pages. Any number higher than 6, though, we're just going to let it be what it is. So, for example, let's say that Kimi is one of the fastest and Lando is one of the fastest. So Kimi's racing number is 12. I would take 12 pages, and then Lando's racing number is 1. I would multiply that by 15, and we would have 15 pages. So then we would do 15 plus 12, and the sum of that is how many pages we would read. And we're going to do that for each free practice session. So FP1, FP2, and FP3. Okay? We have qualifying. So qualifying is when they are setting the starting grid. It's going to determine where each person starts in the race. So qualifying is split into 3 different sections: Q1, Q2, and Q3. So for Q1, that's the first session of qualifying. All 22 drivers go out on the track and try to set the fastest lap that they can possibly set. By the end of Q1, there's like a certain amount of time that they're trying to set the fastest lap. At the end of Q1, 6 drivers are going to be eliminated. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Those people are going to be done racing for qualifying. Order of the lap time that they set is where they'll be on the grid. So let's say somebody sets a 1:35 lap time, and then somebody sets a 1:36 lap time. The 1:35 would be above the 1:36, so on and so forth. I hope I explained that okay, but I don't know if I did. The drivers that weren't eliminated will go into Q2. In Q2, they have another allotted amount of time, and they all go out and try to set the fastest time. And then another 6 drivers get eliminated by the end of that. And then you get into Q3, and so Q3 is the final session of qualifying where they all try to set the fastest lap again, and yeah, that's setting the grid 1 through 10. Hopefully that explains it as best as I can. We're going to randomly pick a driver, and the fastest lap that they set, we're going to convert it to hours and minutes. So usually it might be around like 1 minute and 29 seconds. If it's 1 minute and 29 seconds, it would be 1 hour and 29 minutes that we read for. But we have some caveats. So if the driver that I randomly select sets the fastest lap, then we're going to subtract 10 minutes from our total reading time. If there's a rain delay, we're going to add 10 minutes. If there's a yellow flag, which is basically just like they have to slow down what's going on because there's like a safety hazard, then we're going to read for 5 minutes standing up. And then if the driver that I randomly select doesn't set a lap in Q3, then I have to add 5 pages. We have the actual race. So the race is to the last part of the weekend, and it's on Sunday. Usually there's only one time that it's on Saturday, but I think that's Vegas, but it doesn't really matter because this is not Vegas, this is Suzuka. So for the race, we're going to randomly pick a team, just random again, and each team has 2 drivers. Both of the drivers' finishing position in the race, what position they ended as, we're going to multiply that by 5, and then I add that together, and that's going to be the amount of minutes that I read for. But again, if there's a safety car, we're going to add 5 pages. If a driver DNFs, which is does not finish, then we're going to do plus 5 pages, but that's only if a driver DNFs from my team. And then if my team finishes on the podium, so if either of my drivers finish on the podium, or both, whatever, then I get to subtract 10 minutes from the total reading time. I'm really excited because I love F1, I love reading. I think this is such a fun way to push myself into actually reading. Side note, because the race is in Suzuka, or in Japan, it's definitely not in my time zone. So each session is happening from like 10:30 all the way to 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So we're gonna try our best to be awake for all of it, but it is a very hard thing to fight, to stay awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gonna do my best. So hopefully we're awake for all the sessions, but if not, I'm so sorry. Hello. I am sitting in bed trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about this free practice schedule because it is 8:54. FP1 starts at 10:30 and goes to 11:30, and then FP2 is from 2 to 3 a.m. So right now I don't know if I want to like take a nap and then wake up for FP1, watch it, and then go to sleep, and then wake up or try to wake up for FP2 and attempt to stay awake from 2 to 3 and then go back to sleep. But I have work in the morning, so I just don't know what the best plan of action is. I'm watching some Rotten Mango episodes right now, so I'm kind of invested, so I don't know if I'll be able to go to sleep, but I do feel a little tired, so if I really tried I probably could, but I'm invested. So I think I'm probably going to lay down, watch these Rotten Mango episodes, and then if I go to sleep, I'll just set an alarm for 10:30 so I can wake up and watch it, and then we're just gonna see what happens, what goes on, if I'm gonna be reading for only a million hours, or if I'm gonna be reading for like 2 seconds. So I'll see you then. It is the next day, and I am here to report to you that I did not watch a second of practice yesterday. Or today, technically, but yesterday. I didn't watch a second. I woke up and I actually fell asleep before the 10:30 session, and when I woke up, I was exhausted. So I went back to sleep, and then the 2 o'clock alarm went off, and I was exhausted. So I didn't watch it, but I am here to say the results of practice. So practice 1, George was the fastest, and Kimmy was the second fastest. So George's number is 63 and Kimmy's is 12. So that means that I have 75 pages to read. And then practice 2, Oscar was the fastest, which good for him, especially after the last 2 weeks. And then Kimmy was the second fastest. So Oscar is 81 and Kimmy again is 12. So that's 93 pages. And then if you put that together, that's 168 pages. So I already have to read 168 pages, which I haven't read a page of yet, and FP3 is tonight and qualifying is also tonight, so I have got to get on it. Luckily I have tomorrow completely off of work, so I have lots of time to read. I'm watching basketball right now. I'm watching March Madness, so I'm kind of like not able to really read right now unless it's like in between games and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to chip away at this until FP3 starts, and then maybe even like while FP3 is going, if I'm awake and I can, like, hopefully I am, because I just have not been watching, and the whole point of this is to watch it and then react. But hopefully I can read some, maybe read during, and then maybe read in between, but maybe go to sleep in between, and then tomorrow spend a lot of time reading. But by tomorrow I'll have more things tacked on to the challenge, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it. But I just absolutely need to finish at least the free practice stuff. FP1, FP2, and FP3, I need to have that finished by tomorrow. And then the qualifying, I'm gonna try to finish by tomorrow. And then the race, I'll obviously have some time to kind of finish that after. My thoughts on actually the outcomes of it, I haven't actually watched the practices yet. And usually if I like miss something, I'll like go back and watch it and just get a recap, or I'll watch the highlights or whatever. I haven't done any of those things yet, but when I saw that Kimmy and George were up there, I wasn't surprised. But when I saw Oscar, I was like, what? Like, how did this happen, and why the one time I don't watch does he like come up there? Let's look at the results real quick and like talk about it a little bit. FP1, it was George and then Kimmy and then Lando and then Oscar and then Charles and then Lewis and then Max and then Liam and then Esty Bestie, and then Arvid. So those are our top 10. That's interesting. Like, I wasn't expecting the McLarens to not be up there, because I felt like they've had like a long enough break to try to figure it out, but I was a little bit surprised. But then FP2, when I saw that Oscar was first, I was like, have they pulled it together all the way? I think I read somewhere that Lando didn't start FP2 on time. Like, I think it was a little bit of a late start for him, but I don't know. But FP2, Oscar first, Kimmy second, George third, Lando fourth, Charles fifth, Lewis sixth, Nico seventh, Alex 8th, Ollie 9th, and Max 10th. I was just very interested, and I was very intrigued at the fact that that's how that turned out. It's FP3, and I'm actually awake. There's 55 minutes left, so it just started. But it just started and Lando has no floor. So we're gonna see. Not many people are out yet, just Checo, Pierre, and Franco. So, I mean, obviously I don't know who's gonna be the fastest, but I don't even want to guess. Like, I feel like that's bad luck. From FP1 and FP2, I have 168 pages that I have to read. I'm on page 89. I would technically have to get to page 257 to be done. Because I haven't watched any recaps or the actual practices yet from last night. I don't know if I'm going to. I might just watch like the highlights, but okay, don't mind my appearance. I just got out of bed, but unfortunately last night I fell asleep. I don't remember going to sleep. When I woke up I was like, I was asleep, but yeah, so I fell asleep. But I did read 20 pages last night. So last night from FP1 and FP2, I had 268 pages to read, but I read 20 pages. So now I have 248 pages to read. However, FP3 happened, so I have to add in that. So Kimmy and George were the fastest of FP3. So that's 63 plus 12, so that's 75. So 248 plus 75 is 323 pages. So just from the free practices, FP1, FP2, and FP3, I have to read 323 pages today. Now, qualifying also happened last night. So for qualifying, I'm supposed to pick a driver randomly, and the fastest lap that they set, I'm going to convert that to hours and minutes, and that's how long I have to read for. So let's say they have like a minute 20, then I would read for an hour and 20 minutes. If they set the fastest lap, I would subtract 10 minutes. If there was a yellow flag, I read standing for 5 minutes. If the driver doesn't set a lap in Q3, then it's plus 5 pages. So let's pick a driver. I have this gallon Ziploc bag and I have all the drivers' names in here. And so we're just gonna wait, I'm gonna show you first. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, Alex! Okay, let's see what his fastest time was. Okay, he was 17th and his fastest lap was 1 minute 31 seconds. And he did not get into Q3, so we have to add 5 pages. So whenever I read, like for the hour and 30 minutes, whenever the hour and 30 minutes is up, then I just have to, oh sorry, hour and 31 minutes, whenever that's up, I just have to add 5 pages to that. So now I have 323 pages to read, and I have to read for an hour and 31 minutes. We're gonna do it separately. We're gonna stay true to the challenge, and we're gonna read 323 pages, and then we'll read for an hour and 31 minutes. So we're gonna get ready while we watch the qualifying highlights, see if there was anything that I missed, like a yellow flag or something, and I have to read for 5 minutes standing up. And then I'm going to start reading because I have a lot to read. Okay, so I've been reading a little bit. I'm on page 115, and today I started on page 103. So I haven't made like too much of a dent in it, but then my Kindle is saying that the next chapter, like the chapter that I'm on right now, if I was to read it, it would take 15 minutes. And I just don't think that I'm in the mood for a 15-minute chapter right now. I don't know why. So I think I might pick up Just Friends and see if I can get through, because I feel like when it's pages, it's easier for me to read when there's shorter chapters. If it's a time kind of based thing, I think it won't matter to me if a chapter is 15 minutes. So yeah. I did watch the qualifying highlights, but it didn't really give me enough, so I'm actually watching qualifying now. And it is interesting. Alex, the driver that I picked, was not very happy. And they didn't go over that in the highlights, but he was not very happy. So, boo for that. And we're gonna keep listening while we're reading, kind of.
And that'll help those that are really taking the curves hard.
Oh, my came so easy. The bomb, I feel like matches. Oh, it's really cute. He's so good. I have to read 323 pages. This book is 313. So I am 76 pages in, and I'm on chapter 8 of Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I thought that I would give you a little bit of an update. I'm enjoying it. I think that the writing has a little bit of like a lyrical quality to it, and the way that she describes some things are just very interesting. Like she described like the overhang of trees as like a beret over a town, like the hat, like a beret, and I thought that that was interesting because I just don't think I would have thought of that. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So we're gonna keep reading it, and it definitely feels like something that I can like hunker down and read. So that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully we can get through a good, decent slice of this challenge, because I am so behind because I can't stop sleeping. You know how I was talking about like cute things that she says? There was so much unknown stretching between us like an ocean. It felt like he just handed me the oar to a rowboat. I wanted to keep paddling until I got to his shore. Like, I don't think that I would have thought of that. I'd like to think that I could, but I don't know. I am on chapter 12, page 143, and that means that I have 168 pages left that I have to read. So I can totally do this, and then I'll just have to read for an hour and 30 minutes after. I'll have plenty of time to sit down and watch Rotten Mango episodes, and maybe One Tree Hill and March Madness, and maybe take a nap before the race, because I can't miss the race. I actually have to watch the race, so there's no getting around that. Like, it was okay to miss like the 2 practices and qualifying, but it is not okay to miss the race. I'm still enjoying the book. It doesn't feel like I've read 143 pages. I feel like I'm kind of just in the story, and I have caught myself kind of like smiling or like giggling at some of the moments. So thumbs up for me so far. We're gonna keep reading. Update on Just Friends. I'm on chapter 18, page 209, and if we do the math, I have 323 pages to read, and 323 minus the 209 from Just Friends and the 12 from The Wedding People, I have 102 pages left. I actually am like, I love reading this book because I kind of saw the journey of Haley writing it through her YouTube channel, and so I think it's just like so interesting because it really brings into perspective for me that like this is like, anytime I'm reading a book, I'm like reading a piece of somebody's like mind and their creativity and all of the like little pieces of them that they left in the book, or the pieces of people that they love in the book. So it like, reading this is really putting that into perspective for me, and I'm just like thinking about all the books I've read and all the books that I love and all the books that I am never gonna be able to read, and just how cool that is. Like, I just think that's amazing. I'm on page 242, and with the 12 pages that I read from the wedding people, I keep saying the 12 pages I read like that's an enormous amount, but it's what I got. So with my 12 pages from the wedding people, I have 69 more pages until I am done with all of my free practice challenge type stuff. Okay, you guys, I just finished Just Friends. Let's calculate the pages I read. So I had to read 323 pages. So we've got 323. And then this book is 313 pages, so minus 313, we get 10. And then from the wedding people, I read 12 pages, so minus 12. So I read 2 more pages than I needed to, but now I have to read for an hour and 31 minutes. Actually, can we talk about F1 for a second? I fully got into the sport last year and like really deep dive into it, like watching everything I could, watching old races, watching the current races, obviously watching like Drive to Survive, and then just looking up anything and everything I could get my hands on from it. And going from that and like being immersed into what the whole world was, especially like from the technical standpoint, like the actual cars and the driving and all of that, and it being the last year for that set of regulations, going into this year, I have just been like, what is going on? Like, what do you mean, like, manual override? And like, why does it sound like we're talking like Mario Kart? Like, I'm so confused. Like, I just want to go back to, it seemed a lot simpler last year. Like this year, I'm just like, okay, like they need to like harvest energy for this like power up or something. Like, it seriously sounds like Mario Kart. Still obviously enjoy the racing and things like that, but it has just been like a mind, it's like tilted my entire axis of how I think about it. There are some March Madness games on right now, so I'm probably gonna take a little break to watch some of those, maybe read during like the half times and stuff like that. But I will update you on the book that I'm reading, hopefully, or you'll just see what book I'm reading. If I'm reading from my Kindle, I'm reading The Wedding People. If I'm reading from another book, then I'm obviously reading a different book. Wait, can you see it? Okay, so I have completed all of my challenges for FP1, FP2, FP3, and qualifying, and it is 8:17 p.m. and I think that the race is at 2? No, it's from 1 to 3. I got to page 136 on Picking Daisies on Sundays, which is chapter 18. I finished Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I got 31% of the way through Wedding People, through all of those challenges combined. Now we have to randomly pick a team from the grid to help us with our race challenge. So let's get prepared for that. I just put the names of all 11 teams on the grid in this bag. It's the same bag that I used for drivers. We're gonna do the thing where you go like, if I pick one, it's gonna be like, this is not, until I get to the last one. Our team for the race is not McLaren. Our team for the weekend is not Williams. Our team for the weekend is not Mercedes. Team for the weekend is not Red Bull. Team for the weekend is not Haas. Our team for the weekend is not Aston Martin. Team for the weekend is not Audi. I actually love Audi. I really want one of their cars. Team for the weekend is not Alpine. Team for the weekend is not Racing Bulls. Team for the weekend is not Cadillac. So our team for this weekend and for this challenge is a Ferrari. Wait, can you see it? Yep, Ferrari. I feel like my hair is just getting frizzier and frizzier, but I just had dinner. I had steak and green beans, and I'm drinking a Red Bull, which might be controversial since I'm a Ferrari fan for the night. It is 12:02 and I am on a new coloring sheet right now. I have basically an hour until the Grand Prix starts. The pre-race show is on right now, but I'm not watching it because, like I said, I'm watching Ron Mango and coloring and stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna make it. I mean, no, it kind of works. It's just like, I think the colors kind of got thrown off, especially like with the wall. Like I don't know. But it's cute, no? We're watching! And I'm actually awake and it feels amazing to be able to actually be watching it when I have like some cognitive function. It's just, it's amazing. But it's definitely gonna be like, it's gonna be a little hard for me because it goes, like this weekend, it goes from being March Madness and F1 to like nothing. In April, college basketball will be over because March Madness goes until April 5th. So college basketball will be over and then there'll be no F1 all of April. So it's really just gonna be me and my books.
Underway, watch Piastri, race leader Piastri, past one Mercedes, past two Mercedes, third to the lead, and he's brought Charles Leclerc to second place. Both the Mercedes crawled off the line, Lando Norris to third, game on in Japan.
Oh my gosh. That was a crazy start. I was not expecting that. Wow, this is so weird for me because I'm internally rooting for McLaren just because it's a team that I've kind of associated myself with, but I don't know. I don't have any, like, I don't dislike any team or dislike any driver. I like them all. But when it comes to like competition wise, for some reason I was really drawn to McLaren. I couldn't tell you why. I think I like all the drivers. There's some that I'm kind of neutral on, and then there's others that I'm just like, I really like them. Like Lewis, I knew about him before I even got into Formula One, so I don't know. For some reason, I just was attached to McLaren. I laid down. I'm getting tired. I feel like the sounds of the engines sometimes can lull me to sleep. There's a yellow flag. Ollie hit the barrier. So we have one penalty. We're in lap 26 and it's still a safety car. And I think they're still like sweeping. The end of the race. So tired, I'm about to go to sleep. Charles came in third, Lewis came in sixth. So we got a driver on the podium, and there was a safety car. So we will read according to that tomorrow, but I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, so last night, Lewis got 6th place and Charles got 3rd. So 3 times 5 is 15 and 6 times 5 is 30. So that's 45 minutes, but Charles got on the podium, which means my team, Ferrari, got on the podium. So I get to subtract 10 minutes. So it's 35 minutes of reading, but there was a safety car, so I have to add 5 pages. So that's where we're at. I don't know if I explained that last night. So that's the math. That's how we have to split this up. I put my AirPods in and I started listening to the audiobook of The Wedding People because that's just what I do when I get to work. I either put my AirPods in and listen to a book or I'll listen to music. And I put it in, and the first chapter I listened to of The Wedding People was 35 minutes. So I had to read 45 minutes, but because Ferrari got on the podium, we subtracted 10 minutes, so that's 35 minutes. But I do have to read 5 pages for the safety car. We're gonna count the 35 minutes, so I'm so sorry that I didn't do that with you guys, but I just kind of did it without thinking. So I'm gonna keep listening to the audiobook, and then later today, we're gonna sit down and read the 5 pages together. And yeah, so that's where we're at. Okay guys, I am home from work, from working out, and from going to the store, and it's really bright. But anyways, we are going to read our 5 pages. I'm on page 136 right now, chapter 18. So let's read 5 pages so that we can say that we completed the F1 weekend challenge. I am on page 150 and chapter 20. So we have officially completed the F1 weekend decides how much I read this weekend challenge. There's got to be a better name for that, but this was fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll talk soon. It's now Sunday and we are going to give a recap of the weekend. The weekend is over. We don't have any more races until May. It's crazy. Funnily enough, I have on a Miami shirt and the next race is in Miami. Let's go over the weekend for all of free practice. So free practice 1, free practice 2, and free practice 3. I had to read 323 pages. For FP1, George and Kimmy were the fastest. For FP2, Oscar and Kimmy were the fastest. And for FP3, George and Kimmy were the fastest again. All of that amounted to 323 pages. We split that up between the wedding people, just friends, and maybe a few pages of picking daisies on Sundays, but I'm not completely sure. And then for qualifying, we picked Alex Albon, and it was 1 minute and 31 seconds, but it was 1 hour and 31 minutes of reading for us, and he did not set a time in Q3, so we had to add 5 pages of that. The actual race, the random team that we picked was Ferrari, and Charles finished on the podium, so we got to subtract 10 minutes from reading, but there was a safety car, so we had to add 5 pages. Throughout this reading blog, read 3 different books, like I said. We started and finished Just Friends, and 47% of the way through The Wedding People, and 45% of the way through Picking Daisies on Sundays. So we actually made a lot of progress through books. So let's give my updates on how I'm feeling about the books. Just Friends, which is Haley Pham's debut novel. It's a contemporary romance. I actually liked it. I enjoyed it. I've seen a lot of things where people I think are being, I mean, reading is subjective, so it's their opinion and that's fine. But I feel like people are being pretty harsh on her, just maybe because she's an influencer who got a book deal. And like, I mean, what can you do about that? Like, she's worked her whole life to be in the book space, and she is in the book space, so that's gonna come with some, like, I don't know, you just get some perks, and she got a perk, and I really enjoyed the book. I thought it was fun. I thought it was lighthearted. I mean, there was some heavy themes like grief and things like that, but it overall made me feel good. Like, I found myself smiling. I enjoyed the characters. I thought they had like a cute chemistry, and I don't know, but I also enjoy like second chance, friends to lovers, stuff like that. So maybe that's it. I thought that there were some pretty quotes from the book. Does it seem like somebody's debut novel? Yes. But like, that's literally what it is, so I don't think that you can like bash it for that. But anyways, I digress. I thought it was good. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time reading it. Sue me. And then we continued The Wedding People, which I was reading before I started this vlog, and I have actually found that I would rather listen to the audiobook than actually read it on the Kindle. So I'm enjoying the audiobook of it. I've been listening to it while I've been working, while I've been doing different things, and I'm enjoying it. I think the premise is pretty interesting. She goes to a hotel. There's not supposed to be anybody but people from the wedding, and she builds this connection with the bride. It's interesting. I would recommend it. I haven't finished it, so I don't have a rating. We started Picking Daisies on Sundays, which is best friends, kind of second chance a little bit, and fake dating. It's really cute. I know there's 2 other books. One of them is already out, and I think the 3rd one is coming out, so I'm really interested to read some of her other works because I'm really liking this one. It's really cute, lighthearted, fun. It gives like rom-com-y vibes, and I feel like that's just really what I needed right now, so I'm enjoying it. Again, I haven't finished it, so I don't have a rating for you, but I would so far recommend it to people. Let's talk about F1. Did the race and the weekend go how I wanted? I'm a McLaren girl. the McLaren picked me, okay? The papaya picked me. And I'm just happy that they both finished the race. They both started the race. So I'm a happy girl. I'm a very happy girl. I did sleep through kind of a lot of it, but I did watch the race, which is what matters, and I watched most of qualifying, I think. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to May. It's going to be a long April with no F1. I think this break is longer than the actual summer break, so I don't know. We're gonna have to find something to fill that void, but thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy that you came along with me on this journey of two of my favorite things, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.